Hello and welcome. I am the Restless Kaiser.
And I'm Johnny B, but together we are Modelling for Advantage.
Well, we wouldn't be Modelling for Advantage, but you just broke this, John.
Mate, I balked to do
so. Literally just broke it, the prick. Right. Shouldn't swear in the first few minutes of the video, should we? Today, we're talking about Mortal Realms. We're not really talking about Mortal Realms. We're talking about Warcry.
That's what it's all about, really.
I mean, you Warcry, John. See, that's why I'm going to win all the games.
That's it,
This
mate.
magazine's just come out. A lot of you have probably already got this.
Multiple copies.
Multiple copy piles of them waiting for a future when you'll never get around to painting them.
And why is that?
Because
it's £3, sir.
Because it's £3. And this, I'll show you the content in a minute. Basically, the bit that we're interested in for Warcry purposes is this sprue.
And this sword.
And the broken sword. So just to show you, get a magazine, look, you get loads of bomb in there, blah, 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 blah. There's a poster, you know, if you've got a bedroom you need to decorate. It's a little bit of thing to display your models on. Do you know what I mean? Nice. You get some base and some dice. They're not in a baggie. You did that.
No, I did that.
John did that because he made it nice.
Yeah, yeah.
But you also get the Sigmarines. Can't use them in Warcry, mate.
Latest taters.
Latest taters, but that, for £3, is a Warcry warband.
Boom.
Boom.
If you have a friend, if you're lucky enough to have a friend.
Yeah.
And they play Warcry.
And they want you to play Warcry.
Boom! £3.
And you're like, I don't want to pound a £100 box and paint a load of weird chaos dudes.
Which take forever, especially
I like
if you're
spooky
me.
things.
Yeah, man.
But no, if you've already got Warcry, certainly if you've got a friend who's got Warcry, £3 and you're in. Because on here, the 10 Chainrasps, one of them is a leader in Warcry.
Which is that?
This whole lot comes out 850 points something. You ain't going to win many games with this.
Yeah.
But
Don't
you
take
can
it to
get
a tournament.
on the table for £3.
That's all right, that.
Yeah, mate.
And they don't take too long to paint by the looks of it.
They do not take long to paint. So if you have a quick look, Johnny B's going to do some stills.
I will do some stills.
So this is the leader dude, bro. And this is just a random chain rasp. I had a crack at these to see how quickly you could do them. Painted these two guys up.
How did you do
It's
those?
just sprayed it white, mate. That nickel oxide thing.
Yeah.
And then I painted the details on. But when I was looking at the other guys in the tray that I sprayed a load of them together and then started putting the nickel oxide because it left it overnight to dry.
Yeah.
To be honest, to get on the table, you could just do that, paint the bases.
Well, I've seen a couple that you've got prepped, and
Yeah.
let's put them up as well, why not?
Yeah.
But yeah, nickel oxide over the white, you're good to go.
Yeah, absolutely. And I like the fact that you can work up the detail as much as you like. So let's just briefly talk about it. So that's £3. So if you've got a friend, who's got all the other bits, then that's £3 in.
The only problem that
Maybe
might
your friend hasn't got the other bits.
it's not only that, but these cards.
They're going to need.
You will need the cards.
Now these were reprinted recently, so they are currently available.
Were they really?
The card packs, yeah, and certainly on Wayland Games, I had a look before the video. They had like 10 plus of these in stock.
Sweet.
And I think these are £5.
Yeah, that's it.
For the stat cards. So potentially you're talking about £8
Under a tenner, you're in the game.
Yeah. So let's talk about the stats of these guys, because you've only got 2 of the 6 available characters. So
there are 6 models you can have, and on that sprue you get the Dread Warden.
The Dread Warden. So he's your leader, and he has a movement of 5, a toughness of 4, and 16 wounds for 150 points. So he's a bit weedy. As
He's a bit weedy, yeah.
He's a bit on the weedy side. He's got 3 attacks at strength 3. They do 2 and 4 damage. This is not a melee monster. No doubt about it. And then the Chainrasp,
which you get many of.
There's another 9 because one of them's a leader. That's this guy.
Of course, yeah.
And this sprue also, the easy build Chainrasp that you get with the Underworld set, you haven't got him.
Have you not?
No. So you kind of need this. I think as a separate kit Chainrasp, you can only buy like 20 of them for about £30, you see. That's why this is such a fantastic
if you're gonna make a warband, then
you can do that. You want these. Chainrasp for 80 points, move 5, toughness 4, and 8 wounds for 80 points. Ooh.
Toughness 4's alright though, for a little grunt.
Alright for a Gribbly. 3 attacks at strength 3 that do 1 and 2 damage.
I'm sure they've got buffs, surely, that can make them hit harder.
fly.
Oh, really?
They fly. That's the thing. They're not affected by movement.
Are we going through this? We don't need to go through that, do we?
No, but we could point out the Dread Warden special ability, I think, because that's quite important. So he's got this leader buff, which is this one.
Funky Rune. Chilling Horde. That is definitely one of them.
No, it's this one. Spectral Summon. That's that one. That's the important one. So the Spectral Summon. Pick a friendly fighter that has been taken down. Set up that fighter once more on the battlefield, wholly within 3 inches of this fighter. The fighter set up on the battlefield no longer counts as being taken down. Remove the number of damage points allocated to that fighter equal to the value of this ability.
And it's a triple.
Yeah, so you roll a 666, he comes back with 6 wounds. You roll a 111, he comes back with 1 wound.
Very similar.
Like the Legions of Nagash. Yeah. So this guy is kind of important, not as a fighter.
Just to bring them
But I think with this warband in general, there are other fighter options, but they're more about being able to move to objectives and to not die and all that kind of stuff. Now, so that'd get you on the table.
Yes.
£3 for them, £5 for the things, and you
under a tenner, you're golden.
And you're golden. Of the other 4 models that are available, to say briefly, for the warband, the Glaive Wraith Stalkers are easy to build, £10 for 4. And they're all right. I'm not sure how much of a place they've got in the warband, because they're just tougher versions of the Chainrasps.
Yeah.
They still don't fight very well, but they do have spears. They have that range 2 fighting. And then the Grimghast Reaper and the Extoller of Shyish, they're not easy build. So this is a bit more of an expensive purchase. The Extoller is, and he's an alternative leader.
Right.
So if you wanted to expand in that direction. And lastly, this Spirit Host, I had a look on the GW website and I couldn't find these guys today.
Really?
I could not find them, no. Which may mean they're temporarily out of production, or they may be only available in certain starter kits or something.
Yeah, maybe.
Because he's the beast. If we were to look at the stat cards, he's, like each of the warbands have got a bit of a monster.
Yeah.
As it were.
That's the one.
This is the guy, and he's
What's he do?
220 points. He's got 30 wounds at toughness 5 and 5 move. He has got 1 range, 6 attacks at strength 3. They do 1 and 4 damage. But he's got an ability on there, which is this one, Frightful Touch. Until the end, that's a triple. Until the end of this fighter's activation, each hit is a crit. 6 attacks.
What?
Do 4 damage on a crit.
That's brutal. For 220.
Triple.
Let's get some ghosties.
But the model's not available. Mate. And even easier paint job, look. This is literally just Nikolai Oxide over white.
So there are options.
There are options to upgrade, but for £3 you can get in. Maybe we'll have a game. We'll have one of these.
I would like to, because if you've been following the channel, we are intending to play Warcry, and we have been for a long time.
It's the painting.
It's the painting. I'm painting flesh, so I bummed that out, and I was like, no, I'm not painting flesh. I'll paint bone instead. So I've got Legions of Nagash.
You've got Legions of Nagash.
But it doesn't look anything like the cards. So
no.
With your help, Mr. Kaiser, we can actually play a game.
You're going to see Warcry in the next few weeks.
Imminent.
For sure.
Imminent.
Thank you for watching. Bye. Please remember to like, comment, share or subscribe this video, and if you are buying new games or new miniatures, please consider following our affiliate link to Wayland Games. It gives us a little bit of kickback and helps fund other projects for the channel. Thank you for watching.
I boxed it!
You absolute cock.
Highly deadly black tarantula. Something like that.
All right. Well,
making that up.
Daylight come and me one way home. Oh, we screwed that up. Who knows who was right?